here. This is the first time I am interacting with you, leaders of this COP21. Nice presentation, Dilip sir. I was very much interested. An interesting talk was done by you. Let me share my PPT. What I did is I searched the literature. From there, I am not a worker on this one. I am purely academician. Suddenly, I got this information. Later on, if any chance is given for me, I will definitely collaborate, sir. Shall I start, sir, my presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that is the climate change caused by agrochemicals. Okay, this is my presentation. Okay, I want to stress more upon the different areas. How the agrochemicals, as sir was saying, Dilip sir was just now saying that 99% of the pesticides are going wasted. Only 1% are reaching their actual target. Nowadays, we have seen even nano fertilizers are also evolving in India. Nano urea is coming. Okay, I thought that nano, it is a good boon for the society, but actually nano fertilizers also becomes a major issue again. Why? Because 99% of the wastage will not be washed out. Again, the residues will be remaining in the same area of okay, that is the residue will be remaining in the soil like that only. It is going to remain. Okay, let us see how it is going to affect the society or the climate change is caused by this one. Okay, agrochemicals. Generally, we use agrochemicals for the usage of nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium. Okay, they are affect soil is affected, microflora is affected, texture, productivity of the soil is affected, soil enzymatic activity is affected, environment as well as human health is also affected there. Okay, just now we had seen how human health is affected. Many diseases are coming because of these agrochemicals. They are highly toxic and they generally cause groundwater contamination also. Okay, if you see certain chemicals like DDT, it is entering even into the mother's milk also. Okay, that is a mother's milk while feeding his baby, the baby will get the DDT. Is there even in the mother's milk means how much biomagnification took place. We can observe this one. And one chemical that is benzene hexa, that is hexachlorocyclohexane. They are banned in many countries, but in India it is still in usage. In India, if you observe, the agrochemicals usage is 0.29 kgs per hectare is used. Whereas in other countries it is more, but it is the wastage is more in India. That is very important. The pesticide residue is exceptionally high in India. That is observed. It is the second largest market in pesticides in Asia. We had seen Russia-Ukraine war also. The major issue again is about the import of urea or agrochemicals is an important area again. Okay, that is very important for the survival of the agriculture, but the excess usage is causing a major damage. Pesticides usage in different states, as Dilip sir was saying just now, that Maharashtra is the topmost state that is using agrochemicals. Okay, and Uttar Pradesh, later on Haryana and Punjab are coming into the picture. And the export is 377 or 0.76 thousand tons of agrochemicals are exported, but generally they are fungicides are exported. Okay, that is the topmost 5 pesticides in India are chlorpyro, acephate, sulfur, cypermethrin, mancozeb. These are the 5 chemicals that are used, top 5 pesticides in India that are used. Generally in India now they are in usage. Okay, what are the major impact is climate change is one of the major impact. There are environmental changes. Rise of temperature also takes place. Drought conditions will be prevailed. Pattern of the rainfall also changes. Okay, some areas they may be getting very less rainfall, and some may be getting more rainfall. Directly associated with the crop loss by pests and pathogens. Okay, biology of the pathogens, everything will be changed. The diversity of pathogens will be changed completely. Okay, For pest control, we generally go for agrochemicals. Okay, but what happens? Excess in usage of these agrochemicals increase the risk for beneficial insects. There are some beneficial insects are there. Okay, 1 gram of soil contains nearly 1 billion of microbes. 1 gram of soil contains 1 billion of microbes, means they are in the biomass actually is more. Okay, when compared to the other living organisms, the biomass that is present in this earth is very high, and that biomass is completely affected by this usage of these pesticides or agrochemicals. Okay, that is another area which we had to concentrate. Okay, after complete constant usage of these insecticides and fungicides, the weeds, okay, will be, that is, resistance in weeds and reduction in herbicide efficiency will be taking place. As a result, the rise in temperature may increase. What happens when a pesticide is used? It had to be volatilized. It should be evaporated. Okay, that is, its evaporation will be more if the temperature is very high. Okay, sometimes if the temperature is very less, it will not be evaporated. It will be resided, or residue will be remaining in the soil itself. Okay, high organochlorine pesticides, for example, was reported in Korea and USA. Because of warm weather, high volatilization rate of these organochemical pesticides were reported. Amount of intensity of rainfall affect the leaching of the soil takes place here. High rainfall increases soil leaching. Rise in temperature could increase the rate of pesticide degradation and prevent pesticide leakage. Okay, rise in temperature because of the evaporation of the that is pesticide, the leakage will be less. But whereas it could cause drought also. Drought conditions will be there. In those conditions, drought will be prevailing. When the temperature is very high, automatically it leads to drought. Pesticides can bind to soils with the help of soil organic materials. Okay, with the help of soil organic materials, the pesticide also will be coming and fixing with that material, and it forms as a permanently it is residing there. The process of breakdown of will be increased in certain parts of the world. There may be increase in the temperature. What happens means, because of breakdown of the pesticide, the next product may be still more dangerous. That is, the original pesticide may not be harmful to the microbes or biomass present in the earth, but the other area, that is the intermediate point that is formed, may be more dangerous than the other one. For example, Zycon is a pesticide where it is going to be the more dangerous. The intermediate form is more dangerous than the actual Zycon. Okay, that is agroecology and agrotoxics. Advancement of is a practical option to industrial agroecology. Monocultures, that is, they will, in Western countries, what happens when they will cultivate in 2,200 acres like that. They are called as industrial monocultures. There the agroecology will be different. They use more pesticides and fungicides and herbicides. That is more dangerous. Irregular usage of these, that is pesticides or fungicides or insecticides, will cause wildlife is also threatened, decreasing enzymatic action, increasing soil salinity. Soil salinity is increased, contamination, reduction in the population of the beneficial insects, loss of biodiversity, contamination of air and groundwater as well as surface water. Okay, we use herbicide to control the weed. Okay, herbicides, as I was saying, that they were more in usage to decrease the labor cost. But what happens means, these herbicides will go into the root zone, draining a few into the root zone, then it will be a good result. But what happens on the other hand, discharging into the earth, they may be even, herbicide may be discharging even to the earth also. Then it is dangerous. Okay, that is most important. Poor usage of pesticides is leading to the contamination of groundwater. There are some pesticides like nitrates and phosphates, okay, are water resources. They promote algae. Okay, they promote algae. When these pesticides are drained into the river near water body, what happens there? The growth of algae will be taking place, and it leads to the eutrophication. As a result, the water body or the lake will be completely dried up because of this eutrophication. Okay, water body is completely dead because of the nitrates and phosphates when drained into the nearest water body. Overusage of different agrochemicals can decrease the population of advantageous soil microorganisms. Okay, not only the earthworms, where there are microorganisms also exist, which are going to perish completely by the usage of these pesticides. Okay, we know that agrochemicals are very easy and simple and quick and cheap solution. Okay, but they are contaminating our environment. Soil is completely lost, the nature of the soil, fertility of the soil is lost, surface and groundwater are completely contaminated. Therefore, they are threat to the environment and non-target organisms, including soil microorganisms, plants, insects, birds, and fishes. All are completely affected by these agrochemicals. Thus, there is an urgent need for identifying and implementing alternatives to them. Okay, these are the disadvantages. Environmental pollution, just now we had discussed. There are some advantages, but the disadvantages is more. Sustainability is lost there. Okay, what are the disadvantages to the microbial community? About 10 to the power of 4 to 10 to the power of 8 microbial species are present in 1 gram of soil. Okay, 1 gram means 1 fist of sand. Okay, soil contains this much number of microorganisms. 1 gram of soil contains approximately 1 million prokaryotic genomes. Okay, not only fist. 1 gram means a pinch of soil. Okay, small amount of soil contains that much number of the microbes or biomass is present. The microflora, algae, fungi, bacteria, protozoa, virus are associated with many fundamental functions. Okay, when you cultivate a crop, it is not only the water and the nutrients you are supplying, these microbes are also helping in increasing the yield. But what are we doing? We are using these agrochemicals and destroying those microflora. As a result, the fertility of the soil is lost, and the yield also will decrease gradually. Physical properties of soil includes in the structure, aeration, porosity, and water permeation are all affected by this microflora. Like our gut intestine, it contains more amount of the bacteria. Those bacteria, useful bacteria, is not only our enzymes. The enzymes that are released in the intestine are useful for the metabolism. Those bacteria is doing more amount of the digestion or assimilation process. But similarly, in the soil also, the microflora is doing much amount of to maintain the structure of the soil, aeration, porosity, and everything is maintained there. Water permeation, okay, are also in this microflora or microbial communities involved in the bioremediation of soil. If there is any problem in the soil, they remediate. Okay, there is a remedy, like our liver, it can remedy. Auto remediation process there in liver in our body. Similar to that, the soil microbial community is helping in the bioremediation of the soil. If there is a polluted soil, slowly it removes that pollution. Okay, all these microflora are destroyed or perished. Agrochemicals that are penetrating into the soil. Okay, alterations in biomass will be taking place. 1% and 4% of soil organic matter. Biomass consists of bacteria and fungi that together comprise 1% and 4% of the soil organic matter. Okay, that is microbial biomass is a major part of this one, soil organic matter. However, large alterations will be there. By usage of these agrochemicals, there will be alterations in the bacterial and fungal diversity is lost. The ratio is not maintained. Sometimes the agrochemicals may be useful to develop or they may be used for the growth of the bacteria, which those bacteria may not be useful. And sometimes it may be used for the growth of this fungus. Therefore, the diversity, the ratio in the food chain completely is lost. food web, and we know that that is completely destroyed. As a result, there is a disturbance in the soil by these agrochemicals. Bacterial dominates the cultivated, whereas fungal dominates the non-cultivated one. Okay, by usage of organic versus inorganic fertilizers, again is a problem there. Organic fertilizer generally will not destroy these microbes. Okay, they enhances the ratio of the bacterial and fungal biomass is enhanced by usage of organic fertilizers. But inorganic fertilizers generally will destroy them. Okay, reverse impact is observed in inorganic fertilization. Okay, the pH, the temperature, moisture, carbon dioxide levels are all depending on these microbes. Okay, 80% to 90% of soil functions are done mainly by these microbes or microflora. Okay, therefore, 1 gram is, as we had seen, 1 gram of soil is higher than other living organisms. Okay, there may be small planktons may be there, and some other may be there in that 1 gram of soil. But when compared to the microflora, it is very less. Sometimes, as we had seen, by the nitrates and phosphates, when drained into the fields, what happens there? Algal blooms will be developed, and they release greenhouse gases, especially oxides of nitrogen, are causing 70% of the greenhouse gases. Recently found that one. The nitrogen fertilizers are the main reasons for the release of the oxides of nitrogen, which are causing greenhouse effect. And as a result of this greenhouse effect, we know that there is a increase in the terrestrial temperature, or the global temperature is increased, and we know the impact of that greenhouse effect. Because nutrient imbalance will be there in the soil. Another area is soil organic carbon. Okay, this soil organic carbon is an important one, which is going to rise. Okay, it is helpful for removing the crop residue and rhizo deposition and enhancement of root turnover, boosting of microbial activity. Soil organic carbon is very important. But the diversity of soil microbes is mainly the soil organic carbon is mainly regulated by NP and nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon. The correlation between this microbial activity, diversity, and SOC, that is soil organic carbon, indicates the health of the soil. Health of the soil is going to be determined. This is a determining factor, okay, for determining the health of the soil. If the number of microbes is higher in fertilized soils as compared to untreated soil, in fertilized soil, the number of microbes are more. Okay, in organic manure, if it is usage of organic manure instead of agrochemicals, it is more effective in increasing the number of microbes. Okay, increase in the organic carbon, rather than inorganic fertilizers will decrease the number of microbes. Okay, gram negative, for example, long-term application of chemical fertilizers can adversely affect the population of gram negative bacteria that include beneficial microbes like Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas is a gram negative bacteria. Therefore, shift, as we have just now discussed, that there is a shift in the structural diversity of the different microbes. And toxic effects of pesticides and heavy metals on soil microbes were studied also. It is proved that they are going to affect, especially heavy metals and this toxic agrotoxics, it is also called as agrotoxics, will affect the soil health. Okay, then nutrient gradient is developed. Okay, why? Because just now we had discussed that there is a bacteria competition will be there. The one which gets more nutrients will survive. The other one which gets less nutrients will perish. Therefore, nutrient gradient is developed, and as a result, the diversity of the soil is completely lost. Okay, the modification of pesticides or microbes depend on number of factors, environmental factors, soil properties, like that. Okay, we had seen something. There are some interference of pesticides or microbes. Okay, the pesticides will affect the cell growth and division, molecular composition, photosynthesis, respiration, and biosynthetic reactions. Pesticides may modify the physiological and biochemical activities of soil microorganisms. Okay, the cell growth and division, cell division, molecular composition is affected by that. Some pesticides can stimulate microbial, whereas other pesticides have depressing effects. For example, the combination of 3% prosulfuron and 60% bromoxynil can induce considerable alterations in microbial populations, whereas the application of another chemicals reduced the population of actinomycetes, fungi, protozoa in soil. That is, all chemicals will be having different effects. For example, there are some chemicals, agrochemicals, metamidophos, organophosphorus pesticide, reduced fungal biomass, and total microbial biomass is completely reduced by using this agrochemical. Okay, while there is no relation between the gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. Just now we had seen Pseudomonas is a gram-negative bacteria, which is more useful, but these agrochemicals are eradicating that Pseudomonas. Okay, there are some denitrifying bacteria, improved culturable and denitrifying bacteria can be done by using this fungicide, Capton, but decrease nitrifying bacteria, culturable fungal population. Okay, though it is helpful, culturable and denitrifying bacteria is going to be developed, whereas other bacteria will be killed completely. Nitrifying bacteria is also required along with the denitrifying bacteria. Sometimes the balance must be maintained. It is a Mother Earth that can balance this bacteria. It is not the agrochemicals or synthetic chemicals. We cannot balance them. Okay, there are many other examples, and which causes. Just now we had discussed a herbicide, Zytron, has not shown any deleterious effects are not shown by this chemical, but it's on degradation. It is converting into 2,4-dichlorophenol. It causes more degradation when compared to this one. Okay, that is about different how that is affected. Another area is soil respiration. Okay, the application of some fungicide could reduce soil respiration, followed by, because porosity is essential in the soil. The porosity is lost. Why? Because the porosity is lost. Just now, the lips are also told that earthworms will be killed completely by usage of this agrochemicals. Therefore, porosity or soil respiration will be decreased. Okay, there is many case studies are there, which I had given in this one. So soil microflora and soil biotic properties are significantly affected by chemical inputs in the soil. How it is going to, agrochemicals are also going to affect the food. Okay, that is what happens when you add a pesticide to a fruit-giving plant. These pesticides will be residing on the fruit completely. Okay, then it enters even into the pericarp or the endocarp of the inside also it may enter, or sometimes in cereals. What happens means it will be in the bran. Okay, in the covering, alluron layer, it will be there, it will be residing there. Okay, then it becomes a problem while consuming automatically. Not only human beings, many animals will consume these fruits. Those enter into those birds or insects, then it creates a hazard in that ecosystem, or the life, that is food cycle is lost. Pesticides can be degraded through any mechanism. We can remove them, but how can a plant or another insect or a bird can remove that? We can remove by hydrolysis or redox method or metabolism, or they can be removed. Okay, they have applied many fruits and vegetables at different stages, such as the start of germination. We generally apply these pesticides at the start of germination or blooming stage or stage of fruiting, or also after harvesting. Many times we use these pesticides. Therefore, the residue of the pesticides inside the same fruits may vary. Sometimes every fruit contains some residues of these pesticides. Okay, the extent of the pesticide residues retained on the peel surface may be there, whereas may be absorbed into the flesh of the fruit also. Okay, and the pesticide had appeared higher in the epidermis than that in the sarcocarp or pericarp. In case of vegetable, the concentration appeared higher in the outer surface. That is almost, sometimes they may enter into the flesh or the pericarp or the sarcocarp of the vegetable. Okay, by washing we can remove these pesticides, but there are some certain insecticides such as pyrethroids, due to strong bonding between the fruit and skin and the functional group of the insecticides, even washing cannot remove these pesticides. Okay, continuous upper layer of certain the brawn of the grains may be getting this pesticide, and only some extent of pesticides have lipophilic properties, can move into the brawn and germ. Okay, that is into the seed. After they may enter into the seed coat and into the core of the grain also sometimes, but very rare. But mainly it resides in the brawn of the, that is, of the fruit. The sustainable agriculture is we can advise sustainable agriculture is the only remedy for this one, and continuous usage of agrochemicals should be reduced. Okay, that is another. Soil disturbance should be avoided. That is also okay by using the exact, okay, only limited usage of agrochemicals, or organic manures can be used, organic fertilizers can be used instead of inorganic fertilizers. The novel approaches should be there. Must be more research on this one, and continuous application of the pesticides should be avoided. That is also another one. The sustainable method of degradation of harmful agrochemicals or pesticides is very essential. The research must be focused on these areas. Okay, that is my presentation, and I had depended mainly on this main paper. I had depended on this one by impacts of agrochemicals, and on soil microbiology and food quality I depended, and other papers also. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, the organizers.